It's still a challenge sometimes to prove that this is what I do now and for people to take me seriously. But I think since Power and The Shy and, now I'm on the Wu-Tang series on Hulu, I think, as I just do more and more work, people are just starting to see it more and more and saying, oh, wow, this is really what she does now.
What's up, everyone? Victoria here with popculture.com. And today I am talking to a beautiful woman who actually was a bit of an inspiration to me to get into this industry in the first place. Miss Lala Anthony. Hi.
I appreciate that. You look so pretty. How are you?
Thank you. So do you. I'm doing well. I'm so excited to talk to you. I remember back in the MTV days, I was a regular viewer of yours.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I was sharing some MTV stories earlier today. Some really fun times there, but thank you for watching and supporting.
Of course. Well, listen, before we get started, last year was a bit of a doozy. This year, I think some people can see a light at the end of the tunnel. How has your year been so far?
I think, very similar to most people's, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of moments where it's like, what's happening, mental, moments where you just had to really push yourself out of some places and say, there is this is going to end. There is light at the end of the tunnel. But now, being in New York and it's about to be the summer and the weather and people are getting back outside, it's just such an incredible feeling. And I think it just made us all have so much more appreciation for the little things that, we might not have even concerned ourselves with in the past, like just going outside. Sometimes now I'm in Brooklyn now. Sometimes now I just sit outside. It's like, well, what are you doing today? I'm just literally sitting outside because this is something I took for granted for so long. Like just sitting here is like the greatest experience, but it brings us back to the little things that matter. And I think that's super important.
Yes, I'm so happy you bring that up because I agree 100%. I think people learn to slow down a little bit and just appreciate the smaller things like hugging our friends and family that we took for granted before. Well, listen, let's talk a little MTV because I can't have you and then not talk MTV. Do you ever miss the TRL days?
I think, it's funny. I do miss them. When I was on TRL, I was working. So I enjoyed my job. It was so much fun, but you wake up, you go to work, and now looking back, I'm like, wow, that was an incredible job. To be in the middle of thousands of kids every day in Times Square, to bring in New Year's Eve live, in the middle of Times Square, to go to these summer beach houses for the summer and live in these crazy places in this house where all kind of crazy stuff would happen. Like when you're doing it, it's like, oh, this is my job, this is what I have to do. But then when you look back on it, it's like, wow, that was some really iconic, cool times just for music, for our culture. So to be a part of it was so incredible. And a lot of people, they'll say like, I grew up watching you on MTV. I'm like, people maybe don't realize, but I was like 19, maybe just turning 20 when I started MTV. So I grew up on MTV, as well in so many ways. So it was a great place to kind of learn a lot about myself, learn a lot about, my career and who I was. So I'm grateful for it.
I was trying to phrase that question perfectly because I thought about that earlier too. I was like, she was so young and we're not that different in age currently. So it's just what a wild time. And I feel like being in this industry, you forget, it's still work, and so I'm sure you had days where it was just work for you, but as an outsider looking in.
Sometimes it was work and I want to do the best interview or, nail it. It's just live television. So it's no mistakes. There's no go back and do it over. There's none of that. So I would be so focused on that sometimes. And looking back, I'm like, wow, just the people I've interviewed or the moments I've had, when you watch iconic TV moments, a lot of those, I'm like, oh, I was there for that. I was there for that. It's like, it's really cool.
Did you ever picture your life where it is now? Because I feel like since those days, you've gone on to do so many things. God, you're an actress, a businesswoman, a host, an author, everything.
Thank you. I always was a person, I just continue to push myself. And if I have my mind set on something, I'm going to try every which way to make it happen. So once I zoned in on the acting and the producing and said, this is really what I want to do, then I was just so locked in on it, still locked in on it, that I was like, I'm going to figure out a way to kind of get in here. And I definitely did. And it's still, sometimes challenging with, auditioning. And it's funny, after all these years, there are still people that's like, oh, Lala from MTV, or that's the MTV girl. So it's still a challenge sometimes to prove that this is what I do now and for people to take me seriously. But I think since Power and The Shy and, now I'm on the Wu-Tang series on Hulu. I think, as I just do more and more work, people are just starting to see it more and more and saying, oh, wow, this is really what she does now.
Well, for what it's worth, I mean, while I do still remember you for the TRL days, there are so many other things that you were doing that I recognize you for. I feel like I recognize you more as an actress now than anything because I've seen so many of your stuff.
I work really hard at it. So thank you so much.
Good. Well, you deserve the recognition for it. I know that you've teamed up with Special K and Black Girl Run to host a virtual 5K. Please tell me how this is going to happen.
Yeah, so this is something I'm super excited about. Like you said, teaming up with Kellogg, Special K, and Black Girls Run. So today we're unveiling the Special 5K. So let me break it down for you. It's the first ever virtual race, and what I love about it, it's inspiring people to get out there and feel good about themselves. But every 5K you log in is a donation for Feeding America. And we're trying to get 2.5 million meals, which is a lot of food for people, in need, especially now more than ever. So I just love the idea of getting like a great group of friends or family together and saying, hey, let's do this 5K. And when we're done, we're actually helping, families in need through Feeding America. And what's great is like, you can be a beginner, you can be an advanced marathon runner, you can be anything. You can walk it, you can crawl it, you can jump it, whatever you have to do. Some people hear 5K. I know when I first heard 5K, I'm like, oh, like 5K, like, I don't know if I'm ready for that, but it's great that you can go at your own pace and, get a good group. So if you want to register, you have to go to runsignup.com/special 5K. And again, it's just doing something great for yourself, but more importantly, doing something great for those in need, which is why I wanted to be a part of it. And I love the community that Black Girls Run is building over there. And you go to their page, it's official Black Girls Run, and it's just positivity. You get off of there, you feel good. You see women doing, amazing things. So just wanted to be a part of it and encourage people to get out there, enjoy this weather, and do something great for yourself while, helping people in need at the same time.
Well, listen, I know you have a massively busy schedule. How do you yourself stay in shape with such a schedule? Because I struggle with mine and I know I'm not as busy as you.
I struggle. I mean, I think the first thing is like being honest with the fact that it's not easy. I'm never naturally a person that's like, hey, can't wait to go to the gym today. Like, that's just not who I am. But then I also realize that when I do, work out and make my fitness a priority, I just feel better all the way around. I feel accomplished. I feel like I have, more energy. I just feel good about myself. So I like to say it's a lifestyle change. It's not like a 2-week thing or like a 1 month thing. Like, it's a lifestyle change and you have to figure out how to work it into your lifestyle, whatever that is. So for me, having, a bike at home has been really great because that's something I can do a quick 30-minute, ride or a 45-minute ride here and don't even have to leave home. And then, it's nice to get outside and do some boxing and fun stuff. But having the bike here at home for me has been really game changing.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because what I've noticed for me is I think people, when they think about working out, that they have to do this like intense hour and a half workout. You really don't. You can do something small every day.
You really don't. Consistency is key. Something small every day leads to great results, as opposed to, I was the kind of person that it's like go hard or go home. Yeah, that's great. But I was doing that for a month and then nothing after that. I'd rather do small, consistent and see, consistent results as opposed to like, okay, I'm all in for a month and then it all goes wherever afterwards. That's not the right mentality. So like I said, it's more of a lifestyle change. And what I love even about the special 5K run is that for a lot of us, it's kind of our launching pad into getting our minds back into like being fit and working out and doing something good for yourself. Sometimes you need that little push. So if the push is helping someone in need and partnering with, Feeding America, if that's the push that someone needs, then I'm happy to be a part of, bringing that to them.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Speaking of acting, you have a comedy horror coming up, Juju.
Yes.
Tell us about it. I'm very intrigued by this.
So I'm producing with Issa Rae. We haven't cast it yet, but I have brought Issa the project. I think Issa Rae is absolutely amazing. And we both love Mean Girls and The Craft. So we were like, we got to find a way to merge these two worlds. So this is a little Mean Girls meets The Craft. And it's really great because it's dealing with kids in high school who are dealing with self-esteem issues and wanting to fit in. It's kind of the quote unquote, outcasts of the school who just want to be the popular kids. And then they turn to witchcraft and all kind of crazy stuff happens. But at the core, it's just about loving yourself and finding things about yourself to fall in love with. And that's the message we want to get out there, especially to our young kids who right now are going through so much with the pandemic and virtual and lack of human connection and lack of being with their friends. So this movie kind of speaks to all of that. So Issa and I are really excited.
Oh, good. Do you like acting or producing more?
I mean, I love acting more than anything, but producing is great because you get to pick projects that you're passionate about and be a part of bringing them out to the world, which is great. And you have a little bit more control when you're producing, you know, how you want it to turn out. Acting, you kind of go, you got to do what you're told, so to speak. I love it as well, but producing allows me to have a little bit more creative freedom.
So I'll say it's a difference in creativity, which is awesome. I know that, again, you're busy. What do you have on the books this year?
So right now I'm in New York. I'm filming the Wu-Tang series on Hulu, which has been really, really fun. And then when I wrap that, Gabrielle Union and I are starting a new Netflix movie called The Perfect Find. So I'm super excited. Gab's a close friend, and we haven't done a project together since Think Like a Man, which was, wow,
a while ago.
Many years ago. Yeah. So to partner back up here in New York, I don't have to go anywhere and just enjoy a summer in New York while shooting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Good. How do you stay encouraged and inspired by your friends? Because again, walking into MTV so young and then becoming the celebrity yourself, and I know that you have a number of celebrity friends, how do you stay inspired by them? Or how have they inspired you to like deal with that life?
Well, I think it's great to have an incredible support system of, you know, women who are doing great things, because you push each other, you motivate each other, you can be there for each other. It's like, hey, I know you've been here before. How'd you deal with this? Or, you know, questions about starting a new business. Like, I know whoever has launched amazing businesses, how did you do this? And you have so much knowledge right there in your group of friends that you don't really have to go anywhere else. I'm always really blessed to have that. I don't take it for granted, but I think surrounding yourself with great people is just so important. And women, surrounding yourself with great women is really important because it does make a difference.
Absolutely. Lala, I just could not be more of a fan of you. You're amazing. I'm so inspired by you. Love all that you're doing. Thank you so much for your time.
I really appreciate it. I hope you have the best day. Thank you so much.